The key retail indicators for Humboldt County are the real total taxable sales increased 3%. The number of the reporting firms actually decreased 2.4%. Population decreased 0.3%. Average sales per capita, an increase of 3.3%. Average sales per firm, 5.4%. Real total taxable sales in Humboldt looks a little bit like a roller coaster, starting off in 2005 at $74.2 million and peaks out in 2007 at 85.5, and then starts declining into the recession, and then steadying out in the recession in 09, 10, and 11, and average about $73 million. Then a peak in 2002, a drop off 2013, and then regaining again in 2014 at $77 million. It's the annualized number of reporting firms in Humboldt County. For these are the number of businesses that are filing their taxable sales returns. In 05 and 06, we see 365 and 362. Then it starts climbing up to the recession. In 2010, we had 396 businesses filing, and then it's been a steady drop for the last few years. Fiscal year 2014 ended up 362 businesses filing. But what's interesting is these 362 businesses earned $77 million. When you go back to 2005 with 365, they actually made $72 million. So really you've got the same number of businesses, but they're making more money. It's the population trends with Humboldt County in the solid red line and state of Iowa in the dotted blue line. And the index we're using is actually 2004. And so as you can see, the red line has been decreasing about a little less than 0.5% a year, where Iowa has actually increased in population about 0.5% a year. So if we get this population trend to kind of steady out or increase a little bit, that would make quite a difference in your retail sales. This is the population trends for peer counties, and again we're using 2004 as an index. And you, in the dotted blue line, you see these are your peer group average. We've lumped all the Iowa counties into different peer groups dependent upon size and capital sales. And then the red line is Humboldt County, and you can see that the gap is actually kind of widening ever so slightly during this 10-year trend. And so that would be one thing to try to get turned around. The unemployment rate or unemployed percentage of the labor force, we're comparing the state of Iowa to Humboldt County. Humboldt County is in the red. And as you can see, that Humboldt County has been tracking just below the state of Iowa, about 0.5% over the 10 years. And so that's a pretty good thing. You've actually keeping more people employed in Humboldt County than you are in the state of Iowa, which is always a good thing. Average sales per capita, and this is the top 10 group in your peer group. And so you see Carroll has a little asterisk behind it, and that's because there's some abnormalities with that particular county. It's actually in a very favorable geologic location. And as you look at some of the others and come down to the peer group average, which is 7,835 per capita, you see that Humboldt comes in at 7,950. So we're just above the peer group average for per capita sales, with the state of Iowa at 11,565. This chart is a pull factor comparison within the peer group. That break even of 1.1, if you're above that line, it means you're pulling in a lot of outside shoppers into Humboldt County. And in this case, Humboldt is in the red dot and the peer median is in the blue dash. And you're pretty much holding your own all the way through for the last 10 years. The goal is always to get up closer. So you've got some leakage of about 32% where people are going elsewhere to shop, but it's really about the same position as what you have in your peer group average. Worker inflows and outflows. The arrows represent, the left blue arrow is living elsewhere and employed in Humboldt County. The circle is employed and living in Humboldt County. And the red arrow is living in Humboldt County and employed elsewhere. Ideally, we would like to have them employed and living in Humboldt. But there's some advantages to the other arrows also. I mean, living elsewhere, employed in Iowa, you will see some stores, especially like a Casey's or Come and Go, they'll have purchases there as far as retail sales. Living in Humboldt and employed elsewhere, if it's a high-paying job and they're bringing those funds back to Humboldt, that's also a pretty good deal. So it really depends on what kind of jobs these folks have and the needs that they have. This is a table of the population demographics for Humboldt County as compared to the state of Iowa. In the category of under 5 years, there's a red arrow to the left, which means you have less than the state of Iowa. The age group 5 to 17 is a blue arrow to the right, which you have more than the state of Iowa. 18 to 24, or the wandering years, is less than the state of Iowa. Age 25 to 44, which is when people are starting to establish their careers, it's less than the state of Iowa. 45 to 64, greater, and 65 and over, greater. The one thing that I wanted to note is your median age is 44, and the state of Iowa is 38. So you do have that older group of people that you need to be serving in Humboldt County. This is the ISIP website where you can actually find the retail analysis reports. Off to the left you can see retail analysis, and it's by county and by city. This particular slide is by county. And I believe it's any city that above 500 that this report is done annually. And so the web page is up at the top, and if you follow that, then each year you'll be able to get updated information.